Hong Qianpo string cash coin, which was the typically service offered by the Hong money shops in Imperial China, independent of the nationwide network of the Piao Hao. There were a large number of the small native banks generally called Qianzheng Hao. These institutions first appear in the Yangtze Delta region in the Shanghai, Ningbo, Xinjiang, and the first coins of how can be traced at on at least the mid 19th century. In 1716 1776, several of these banks of Shanghai organized themselves into a guild under the name of the Qian Gongzhou. In contrast to Piao Hao, most Qingzhou were local and functional as the commercial banks by conducting local money exchange, issuing cash notes, exchanging bills and notes, and discounting for the local business community. Hong, maintaining so close relationship with the Chinese merchant and grew with the expansion of the China foreign trade. When Western banks first entered China, they issued chop loans to the Hong, who would then lend this money to Chinese merchants who used it to purchase goods for foreign firms. It is estimated that there were around 10,000 Hong in China in the early 1890s. There were several financial crashes which occurred in China, during which a large number of the Hong closed. The largest of these occurred in the year 1883, 1910, and 1911. By the traditional Hong banks were being replaced by modern credit banks in China, particularly those residing in Shanghai. This would continue to happen well into the Republican period. The last Hong banks were nationalized in 1952 by the government of the People's Republic of China. During the 1990s, Hong made a comeback in the mainland China. These new Hong are informal financial companies which are often operating just within the edges of what is legal, and the governmental attitude toward these new Hong isn't that much different from their attitude in the 1950s. Entry of foreign banks. British and other European banks entered China around the middle of the 19th century to serve the growing number of the Western trade firms. The Chinese coined the term Yin Hong, meaning silver institution, for the English World Bank, and the first foreign banks in China was Bombay-based British Oriental Bank Corporation, which opened branches in the Hong Kong, Guangzhou, and Shanghai in the 1840s. Other British banks followed suit and set up their branches in China one after another. The British enjoy a virtual monopoly on the modern banking for the 40 years. The Hong Kong and the Shanghai Banking Corporation, now HSBC, established in 1865 in Hong Kong, later became the largest foreign bank in China. In the early 1890s, Germany, Dutch STC Bank, Japan, Yokohama Specie Bank, France, Bank UD1, Indochina, and Russian Rossio-Asiatic Bank opened branches in China and challenged British ascendancy in China's financial market. By the end of the 19th century, there were 9 foreign banks with 45 branches in China. Treaty ports at the time. Due to the unfair treaty, foreign banks enjoy extraterritorial rights. They also enjoyed complete control over China's international remittance and foreign trade financing. Being unregulated by the Chinese government, they were free to issue banknotes for circulation. They also accept the deposit from the Chinese government institution and Chinese private customer, and provided and received loans from Hong